Hi, welcome to Study Skills ESL 098. There's kind of the overview. Well, welcome back. It is day 3 of ESL 098, Essential College Readiness Skills, a course designed for English as a second language ESL students who are advanced or at the GED transition level who desire college readiness skills and preparation before taking curriculum college courses. We have flipped or exchanged week 2 with week 1 from the original syllabus. Today we have some special guests. They are fellow students who are taking a summer online course, which I am taking on the topic of curriculum through the University of North Carolina at Wilmington. I am having them join us today because of today's topic, study skills. Just as all of you are preparing to soon enter curriculum programs here at Cape Fear Community College, the students in the class I am taking are preparing to be better educational leaders in one of 3 areas: administration, curriculum, higher education. I'm doing the higher education track. My reasoning in having my fellow UNCW students join us today is that study skills is a topic which is useful both to ESL students as you prepare to enter Cape Fear Community College's programs, and to our guests, UNCW students studying educational leadership. So for our guests, let me just mention that day 1, we got familiar with library and online resources. Day 2, we looked at or researched examples of 3 categories or types of text. Now for our warm-up, I thought we could summarize for our guests the 3 types of reading samples we explored in our last class. So Sarit, what was one of the categories or items under a category that we examined during the last class in the library? We'll click here to see Sarit's response. It's a small card like this. No need to download anything, just press the tiny play button, which looks like an arrow to the left of Sarit's card. There's Sarit to her response. Yes, by the way, Sarit is from Israel. And what were the very useful artifacts of text called? Gerardo, do you remember? Paste this into your browser for Gerardo's response and play the feature under his card. Yes, functional text has a special function in our lives. Gerardo, by the way, is from Argentina. What is another category or sublist from last class? Maricela? Paste this into your browser and play Maricela's response. So here's some more ESL student conversation. Yes, Sarit, do you remember what category nonfiction falls under? Informational. Yes, those texts are providing us with information. What was the third category or items from its sublist, Gerardo? We looked at made-up fictional literature. Maricela, do you remember what those were called? Literary texts. Yes. So we saw the purpose of each text. Let's review for our guests. Here's a chart. We looked at functional, informational, and literary text. Let's see what the purpose is of each. We can hear from the students and from the guests, and we can create the chart. The purpose of functional text is for quick reference. Informational is awareness. Literary would be for pleasure or entertainment. Now let's look at examples of each. Example of functional would be a how-to manual or a recipe, for example. For informational, a newspaper or magazine article. For a literary text, a murder mystery or a romance. Now let's add another category. What about the audience? Who would be the audience for each of these types of text? Let's see, for functional, someone trying to do something. For informational, someone wanting background information or an overview. And for literary text, someone wanting to be entertained creatively. There's that back to our overview. So, do you read each type of text, functional, informative, and literary differently? Some more ESL dialogue. From Maricela, yes. Well, tell me more. And from Gerardo, I read the manual for a new printer to find out how to connect it. And Sarit, I definitely read a map differently than I do a news article or recipe. So should you read each differently? This leads to our introduction of study skills. If you are going to college, as you are, study skills are essential. So essential that I have devoted a lesson to them. Why study skills? I invite you to list some reasons. Pause the presentation while you do this, and then open the PowerPoint. So, have you thought of 3 reasons yet? Push yourself and think of 2 more. All right, here are some reasons I came up with. See if any are similar to yours. Complete items by the deadline, complete items thoroughly, complete items thoughtfully, balance time, time management, achieve desired results and grades. Understand the process better. Let's see what programs of study each of you are planning to do. Maricela, I'm going to do the associate degree in nursing program. Sarit, I'm planning to do college transfer. Gerardo, I'll be doing the truck driving program. Now let's see what types of coursework each of you might do that will require specific study skills. Maricela, I know that the nursing program is demanding, so I want to use my time well. Maricela, I know that I will be looking up new words that I don't know in English. Gerardo, I know that I will have a written and driving skills test. You may have skills in your head from the time you were little and have been using them without thinking about it and without calling them study skills. What study skills could apply? Maricela, doing the associate degree in nursing program, problem solving, vocabulary development, procedures such as steps, asking for clarification. Maricela, who's doing college transfer, sorry, I've got the wrong name. Sarit, who's doing college transfer, reading for comprehension, writing, math, checking your answers, estimating, testing multiple choice answers in the problem, history, timeline, for example. Gerardo, who's doing truck driving, written and skills test preparation, rule out answers that don't make sense, eat well, sleep well, be familiar with what will be asked. So you've listed quite a few. What are some others? Note-taking, highlighting, outlining, working backwards from the deadline or goal, word journal to keep track of new words, hypothesizing, collaborating. Some of these are more detailed than just the title. Let us identify what the role is of each of these. Now I would like for each of you to pick one skill that will be useful to you for us to delve into further. Let us put the prior information onto a chart. So we've got some of the students, Maricela, Sarit, Gerardo, their programs, Associate Degree in Nursing, College Transfer, Truck Driving, anticipated coursework, demanding new terminology, new skills, unfamiliar English words, a written test, a driving test, and then the related study skills. So what you will do to handle the coursework. That's your related study skill. Time management, using resources like a dictionary or thesaurus, test preparation strategies. Okay, so let's have our guests make a chart as well. So here's me doing the higher ed program. I'm anticipating a dissertation, speaking in front of others. So skills in research and note-taking, presentation skills would be useful. So pick your focus and fill out this chart for you. Some possible further dialogue, for example, with the students. Perhaps you notice no one has chosen hypothesizing. That may be a new word to some. Let's look at that. Did anyone not choose that because you did not know what it meant, or because you would not choose that for this exercise? Hypothesizing. Can someone find that definition on the computer and share with us? Where would this be useful? When would collaborating or pairing be useful? What about outlining? What is the purpose of an outline? What is the format of an outline? If you are not sure, how can you find out? Where would a timeline be useful? What about note-taking? What is the purpose of note-taking? Is there a preferred way of taking notes? You are correct. How do you know? What is one way of taking notes? How could you combine note-taking and highlighting? Or how could you combine first highlighting and then note-taking? Let us look at prioritizing. How many classes will you have? Do you think you will have an assignment in each class? How will you know which assignments to do first? Which assignment should you do first? Why? Do you think that for someone else, the first assignment tackled could be a different one? Which assignment should you do last, and why? So here's some things to think about, and I thank you for listening to my presentation.